Here we go, final Megadeth album. And look, I even got the signed insert thingy. Here we have one Vic Rattlehead and his farewell drip, pretending not to be on fire. Vic always had an eye for the dramatic flair. Been out a couple of weeks, so what do we think? Classy exit or soup sandwich? There's riffs, there's shreds, but I always try and look for what it all means. And as is typical with Megadeth, the prime directive here seems to be pure defiance and attitude. These have always combined with social commentary, political rants, and dystopian clairvoyance that have brewed up some of the most blistering, untouchable thrash god albums in history. Well, Megadeth 2026 is obviously a handful of records and decades down the road from those old glory days. So let's see what we're working with here. Well, the good news is we're still working with that sneering attitude, if just a little bit more diffuse these days. There's very little to grasp onto here in terms of a historical event or story per se. More non-specific angst that we see toward things like vengeance as an energetic opener tipping point. Or nihilistic defiance like we see in the Middle Finger song, I Don't Care. Well, Hey God and Let There Be Shred are next, and I think they kind of missed their marks on their respective intentions. Hey God has some great chunky guitars in it, but I'm left wanting more and understanding what Dave's really trying to say to God here. And Let There Be Shred, coming from speed metal gods Megadeth, I was kind of afraid that my house was going to burn down. In the end, it was decently anthemic, but my face remained somewhat unmelted. In the next couple songs, we discuss the plight of the average Joe, starting with Puppet Parade, which I think is an echo of the old Sweating Bullets kind of sneering dark tone. And it pairs fairly nicely with another song about despair, Another Bad Day, and I think together they make a fairly strong middle to the track list. And then we get a few songs that are sort of low-resolution commentaries about war and the power structures behind them. Low resolution not always a bad thing, just sort of non-specific. Made to Kill comes in with a nice fierce drum intro, and Obey the Call has a definite legacy Megadeth sound that I quite enjoy. I Am War? You can skip it in my opinion. And the album officially ends with The Last Note, which is a reflection of the path of thrash that Dave has traveled and I think ends on a fairly high note. And of course there's the Ride the Lightning cover. Metallica's version is definitely better, but this was fine. I feel a little sanitized. Alright, your turn. What did you think?